Welcome to the greatest podcast in sports betting entertainment. My name is Tanner Kern. I'm a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is G Money Grant Mitchell. Let's think what I want to say about G Money tonight. He is on fire on Ride the Line, crushing, cruising, and doing everything to win you people money, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, man, the people in the room. How you doing? Welcome in to Ride the Line.
Welcome into Ride the Line and welcome back to Tanner. Finally made it back to the show. I was telling the people, we really missed you on the first episode. We let you off the hook. That's twice now, Tanner. That's twice. You can't just be leaving me solo every time. You won now.
Yeah, I was in Vegas. Vegas was a hell of a trip. It was very fun. I actually walked out of Vegas with money, which is crazy to think. I've never done that before. My buddy won over $1,000. I only won about $270, but I will say I was doing more sports and then losing it on the tables. I got hot in the tables a couple times. He bet craps. He played craps the last day, like the last hour we were there, and won like $600. Someone hit like 60 something rolls in a row. It was nuts.
You know what? This is the thing. I've never been to Vegas. We were actually talking off camera about, potentially planning a trip. If I do go to Vegas, I feel like it's almost a given you're going to lose money at table games or slot machines, whatever. I feel like a good strategy, and this isn't a great strategy for everybody because, working in the sports betting industry, we have to say sports betting is not a viable form of long-term income. However, in the case of you and I, because our picks are so good, I feel like winning some money at the sportsbook first and then taking your winnings and saying, okay, this is my gambling money for the weekend. I feel like that would be a safer approach almost.
So I basically went in the first day we got there. We played blackjack right away. Won not big money on blackjack relative to some people. I was up $400 on blackjack right away. It was crazy. It was like a massive heater. And then I went back to a different casino and they bent me over and took me for everything I had. And then I lost the 400 plus another 300 that I brought. I was down to 100, and then I put a sports bet in, worked it back up, and so it was just a roller coaster. There were so many times around this table, and I had like 25, one hand of blackjack left, I had $25 left, and I worked my way back up. I went back and I tipped those dealers good because they brought me back to life. But it was an epic trip. Grant, we'll go out. We should go out there in the fall and gamble a little bit. Table games are fun. I mean, personally, like my buddy who's a big table game guy, like I like table games when you're winning, but there's nothing worse than just like when the dealer shows 6 and then gets 21 somehow on blackjack. So I would rather sit at the sports book and just like, because at least you put like a big bet on a sports bet, it lasts you a few hours where it goes so quick on a table.
That's the thing. That's definitely the crucial part of why I think people lose so much money in casinos is because if you're playing like roulette, you just plop it down and then it's over, and in a matter of seconds. A slot machine, you spin the wheel, it's over in a matter of seconds. If you're betting on a football game, that's a 3-4 hour investment. You got your friends around you, you order some wings, you order some drinks, and you're hanging out. It's much more the potential for loss, the risk. What's the word I'm looking for here? The risk potential is much lower than it is just playing table games or slot machines, whatever the case.
Yeah, so the second night, this first night I was there, actually, I was up. I finished the day up like $150, and I'm like, all right, I'll take 100 and go down and play blackjack until it's gone. It lasted 4 hands. I lost 4 hands in a row on $25 table, and I'm like, this is terrible. But that's gambling for you. Listen, and on this show, we're here to win. That's what we do. We give the people the winners. Enough about Vegas, enough about table games. We'll be out there sometime. But right now, we're giving the people sports bets. And if you don't subscribe to the page, I don't know what you're doing. Again, Grant, I got a new one. Ready?
I'm ready.
The beaches in Normandy. That's what I kept saying. We stormed the beaches in Normandy. You know what we also did?
What did we do?
We're back-to-back World War champions. And if we're the back-to-back World War champions, and you can't subscribe to Ride the Line, a show that's giving you free money, basically, it makes your life easier when you subscribe. You get notified when we go live. You get notified when we post new videos. What are you doing? I don't get it. Like, your ancestors were not in World War II or World War I, if that's the case.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, are we supposed to log into your account for you and place the bets for you? Is us giving you winners per damn near every day not enough for you guys? Hit that subscribe button. We are here all the time. We've been getting out winners. Tanner didn't mention the record, just said we've been winning. But I'm 17-13 on the show. That's about 56%. Tanner's well over 60%, which is absolutely incredible. He's 17-10. The wins continue to roll in, and we got some pretty good games cooked up for you guys today.
And I'll start it, Grant. I'm going to start it right now. I'm going to take the under of 9.5 in the Giants versus Reds game. I absolutely love this play. Then the Giants are a home run hitting team. So that's where they score their runs. The Reds just tend to score runs. They're a very good offensive team, especially since Ellie De La Cruz has come to the show. But Brandon Williamson is on the mound. He's actually been a lot better in his past 5 starts than we've seen from him the entire season. He's 1-2 with a 5.21 ERA, 1.35 whip. Forget about that stuff. But in his past 5 starts, absolutely dealing. 3 innings against the Nationals, 1 hit allowed, 0 earned runs. I'll take it there. Then he went against the Padres, gave up 2 earned runs over 5 innings. He gave up 3 earned runs to the Rockies over 5 innings. And then he gave up 3 earned runs to the Royals over 5 innings. So he's not at a quality start yet. But if he gives up 3 runs in 5 innings, I'm pretty sure this game's going to stay under the 9.5 total because the Giants are going to be stoned. And I think Logan Webb's going to have a good chance of getting to this Reds offense early. So 9.5 is a little too high for me. If it was at 9, I'd consider it more going on the over. 8.5, I'd go over, but at 9.5, I do like the under in the spot.
I do think this is a solid play. I have 5 picks written down here that I was going back and forth with. I had this game on the board, and I do want to talk about it a little. I think my favorite play in this game is the Reds at +1.5. Now, the reason I do like this is I feel like the Reds have been devalued a little bit because they didn't score for 2 games coming out of the All-Star break. They've lost 4 in a row. I understand their offense hasn't looked exactly the same, but it's a young team. And I was talking about this when we were coming straight out of the All-Star break, but sometimes teams that have built up a bunch of momentum, when you have a 4 or 5 day break, you take it away. Now, all of a sudden, it's a matter of, are they going to continue to play at that level, or are they going to start to fall on their face? I understand the Reds have fallen off a little bit, but I don't think that's an indication they are a bad team. I think this is still a team that can compete for the division title, can maybe even potentially win a playoff series. And going against the Giants here, Logan Webb, by the way, we're not 100% sure it's going to be Logan Webb. FanDuel doesn't have him listed. ESPN doesn't have it listed, but DraftKings, some other sports books do have him down. So I am going in with that assumption. Just talking about Brandon Williamson, to your point, he has a 2.2 ERA this month. Last month, it was a 6.2. He's very much up and down. And Webb, even though his numbers are better overall, he has also been up and down. So it's just a matter of who are you going to catch on a good day, who are you going to catch on a bad day. And with the value that you're getting, just about -110, -115, again, given what we saw from the Reds for a month or two there, I do think it's a good spot for them.
21 strikeouts for Logan Webb in his past 2 starts. That is 15.2 innings of work right there. So he's been getting the job done. Reds haven't been hitting. Take the under of 9.5. Grant likes the Reds at +1.5. Next game we're on to here, Grant. This is an absolute steal. And I don't even know who's pitching for the Boston Red Sox, but you know what? They're feeling it right now. 1.5 games out of the wild card, the last wild card spot. I think they got a good chance of getting in if they just keep playing the way they're playing. They're going against Paul Blackburn of the Oakland Athletics. This is a prime run line spot. We have a much better offense on the road. They're guaranteed the 9 at-bats. Paul Blackburn's got a 4.86 ERA. He's got a 1.54 whip. In Oakland, that's legendary numbers right there. That is like elite pitching numbers. But the problem is in Major League Baseball, it is not elite pitching numbers. Last time he pitched was on July 9th against the Red Sox, went 1 inning, gave up 2 earned runs on 3 hits. 5 earned runs against the White Sox, 4 against the Yankees in his past, that's in his past 4 starts. So I look at Paul Blackburn. There's a lot of areas for the Red Sox to manipulate him. I don't know who's going to be on the mound for Boston. If it's a bullpen day, so be it. I think Oakland can hit the ball. I just think the Red Sox are going to come out a little more on fire based on how they played against the Cubs. They absolutely hit the cover off the ball. They got to Justin Steele. The only pitcher they didn't really get to was Marcus Stroman, but they still found a way to hit all weekend.
So I actually want to. I do like the pick, and I like it. Like I don't even really have anything to go back with. I think this is just a solid pick overall. But I want to talk to you about the Red Sox as far as their actual future right now, because they have just drawn even with the Yankees as far as record goes. We know that Aaron Judge hasn't been in the lineup. He said that maybe he's ready to return and just play with pain. We're gonna have to see what happens with that. Looking at the standings, that's what I was doing when you were talking. I was pulling them up. Looks like the Orioles are going to go clear. We're assuming the Rays are going to win the AL East, and we're assuming the Orioles definitely going to lock up one of those wild card spots. After that, you've got the Blue Jays +1.5 games, the Astros, the Red Sox a 1.5 and the Yankees a 1.5 behind the Astros. How do you feel about their chances? Like, I know you said they can still make it, and I agree, but they can. But how do you feel about their chances? Will they actually do it with the teams that are still in play?
Well, the Orioles are in, so you got to get let's just say the Orioles are in. So if that's the case, then you got the Rangers and the Astros. So one of those teams will win division, one will get in, and then there's really one more spot open, and that's the spot that the Red Sox got to go for. Now it looks like it's that Astros Ranger spot potentially because the Blue Jays, I think, are in second place in the wild card. But
Yep.
we know the Red Sox can beat the Blue Jays. We know it. If the Red Sox just play their game, they're not bad. They're an offensive team. If the Red Sox go after a pitcher at the deadline and get a legit arm and maybe someone in their bullpen, they have a chance of making the playoffs and actually winning a playoff series. We saw it 2 years ago. They made the playoffs. They made a late season push. They got hot. They were 2 wins away from the World Series. So anything's possible with this team. They're not in a bad spot. And they're 5, 6, 7 games over 500, and they're in last place. Like that just shouldn't happen. They were in the AL Central. They'd be the best thing in the world.
Yeah, there's 6 games above 500, and they're tied with the Yankees for last in the division. If Judge does come back to the Yankees, do you worry at all that they would beat the Sox potentially to that wild card spot?
No, no. Judge has got a broken foot. He can't rotate on it. The rest of the team sucks. The pitchers aren't delivering. The Yankees, I would take the Yankees to not make the playoffs right now. The Red Sox are a better team than the New York Yankees because the Red Sox don't have as much star power as the Yankees. They don't have the pitching. If you give the Red Sox Garrett Cole, Red Sox are a much better team than the New York Yankees.
Oh, 100%. It's not even close.
Yeah. So I like the Red Sox chances. I am a Red Sox fan, but the Yankees just aren't. And I'm like a legit. I'm a realist. That's what I am, Grant. I'm a realist. Okay. And the New York Yankees, they're not real. They're fake. They're a bunch of pretenders. And by the way, I wrote my preview for WSN for my AL East odds. I do it once a week, and I was writing it. And they have the Yankees like at plus 1,700 to win the AL East. The Red Sox are plus 8,000. That's just straight disrespect right there.
Wait, that doesn't even make sense.
That's just what the Red Sox have got no luck because the Orioles, Grant, for the longest time, even when the Orioles were like 4 games back in the division, they were plus 1,200, and then they were behind the New York Yankees, who were like 6 games back, 7 games back, and then the Rays were minus 850 or minus 900. Now the Rays are still minus 330, 1.5 games up. Like nobody believes in the Baltimore Orioles, and I guess for good reason. The Rays kind of hit their lull now, and the Orioles don't have a lot of pitching, but it's still disrespectful.
Yep, I agree. Let's go ahead and take this on over to my second pick of the day. We talked about the Red Sox enough. Tanner, I know you're going to like this because we've been very complimentary of these guys over the last couple of weeks. It's the Miami Marlins. I like them both on the money line, and I would even stretch it to the run line. Obviously, the run line is more aggressive, but you're going from about minus 105 odds on the money line to plus 160 on the run line. So just a matter of how adventurous are you feeling. Personally, I am probably going to take that run line. On the mound, it's Jesus Luzardo. Guy's been awesome. I believe you picked them last week when Luzardo was on the bump. He's 8-5 with a 3.29 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP. He's probably going against Miles Mikolas. This is also what I was talking about with Logan Webb earlier. ESPN and a couple of major sports books don't have a starter listed for the Cardinals. However, some of the sports books have Mikolas listed. Now, the reason for that's a little interesting. I'll get into it in just a second. He's 5-5 with a 4.12 ERA and a 1.27 WHIP. Luzardo has given up 2 or fewer earned runs in 5 straight starts. 3 of those have been shutouts. He's been awesome. Mikolas is coming off his worst month of the season, obviously that being June. He has been really good in this month so far, but here's the thing. He threw 3 innings on Friday. So if he does start in this game, it's like how many innings is he actually going to pitch? And again, he's got a 4.12 ERA and a 1.27 WHIP. Neither of those are that amazing. But if you have to go to the bullpen even earlier than you would like to with the way this Marlins team has been playing, I definitely think this is a good spot for them. The Marlins won 3 of 4 against the Cardinals just 2 weeks ago. It was either the series before or series immediately leading into the All-Star break. Whereas the Cardinals, yes, you look at their results recently, but they've been beaten up on bad teams. The Washington Nationals, the Chicago White Sox. I'm not really moved by any of those performances. When the Marlins have only lost 2 series since mid-June, and those were against the Braves and the Orioles, 2 teams that are better than them. They take care of business against the teams they should, and I do think this is a situation with Mikolas, again, in line to have a short debut, or not debut, but short day. I do think this is a good spot for the Marlins.
Yeah, I like it. Marlins are a really good team. It's surprising to see how good they've gotten from last year to this year, and offensively as well. I mean, everyone everyone looks at this Marlins team as a team that's not able to play baseball. And like, that's just kind of in the back of our heads, right? For past years, kind of like the Oakland Athletics, where they still suck. So it's amazing to see where the Marlins have come from to where they are now on the 50 plus win team, 55 plus wins, right?
I believe
You
so,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've done the job. So I fully expect the Marlins to be competitive in the playoffs.
Yeah, I do think this is definitely a team to it's weird to say that you might be looking at the Marlins to win a playoff series, but it could absolutely happen.
Yeah. All right, Grant, final pick. You know who's not going to win a playoff series?
Who's that?
The Minnesota Twins, because they're dog water. I mean, I will say the Minnesota Twins, they're 48 and 46. They're first in the AL Central, a just dog water cupcake, absolute terrible division. All right. They're 48 and 46 and in first place. Let that sink in. What are the Boston Red Sox, Grant? What's their record?
50 and 44.
They're 50 and 44 and in last place. They have a better record than the first place team in the AL Central. That's criminal. Carlos Correa, best hitter on the team. He's batting 232. I think I could bat 232 in the big leagues, left-handed. Okay. And I'm a righty. I look at Joey Gallo. He's one of their best hitters, hit 16 home runs. He bats 191. All right. Not good. Byron Buxton bats 199. That's your designated hitter. Your designated hitter is batting 199. That's absolute dog water. So the Minnesota Twins are going to get stoned by the Seattle Mariners and Logan Gilbert. Sonny Gray's on the mound for the Twins. 4-3, 2.89 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. The area where he gets in trouble is his walks, 39 walks allowed in 99 innings. And the Mariners are coming along offensively. Logan Gilbert's going to go 3.66 ERA, 0.98 WHIP. He controls the walks a little more, but he does give up home runs. I look at this game, though. The Mariners are better in situations offensively with runners in scoring position. Batting 311 or OBP's at 311. They hit a few less home runs, but they've scored more runs this season. They've scored 408 compared to the Twins at 395. The Twins survive with the long ball. If they don't have it, that's where they get into trouble. I think Logan Gilbert's going to be able to shut that part of their game down. Minnesota Twins are 22 and 24 on the road, and I just don't see them playing well overall in this series.
The Mariners have been sneakily good over the last couple of months. Really over the course of the season. They're not that far out of the wild card spot. Like they're also in that group that's hunting now. Little tougher for them because they've got the Astros and they've got the Rangers to compete with, but they could still get into the playoffs. They could make the postseason. And yeah, they've been a good team. They've foiled a lot of bets of mine, and they've also made me a lot of money when I've bet on them. So yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about this pick.
Yeah, 46 and 46 in the AL West means a lot more than 48 and 46 in the AL Central, in my opinion.
Yep, 100%. Let's go ahead and jump on over to my final pick of the day. And if you thought I was going to stop talking about bad teams, well, you are mistaken. I like the Detroit Tigers going against the Kansas City Royals, and it's the same sort of thing that I was talking about with my last pick. I'm looking at both the money line and the run line, and I do think they both have great value. For the money line, it's minus 130, which I don't love, but it's not at the point where, it's a must fade because of the value. The reason that I'm not fully going to go with the run line is because for only plus 125, the jump from minus 130 money line to plus 125 run line, I would like to see a little more, maybe a plus 140, something like that to make me go for it. But still, both spots, I would be interested in. However, let me jump into the reasoning for the pick. Matt Manning on the bump for the Detroit Tigers. Tanner, I know you got some history with Matt Manning. He's 3-1 with a 3.72 ERA and a 1.03 WHIP. He's been really good this season. Hasn't had the most innings pitched. That's because he had a broken foot. But in 3 starts since he came back, he's basically got a 3 flat ERA. You will definitely take that. The main motivation for this pick is that the Royals are starting Jordan Lyles, who is 1-11 with a 6.42 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. This is an unbelievable stat. Take out the decisions. Just look at all the games in which Lyles has started this season. The Royals are 3-14 against the spread, and I didn't even check to see if they were underdogs in all of them. I would just imagine they were. They failed to cover plus 1.5 in 14 of his 17 starts. That's another reason, a big reason I do like the money line in this situation. The Royals have the worst spread record in all of baseball. The Tigers are 49 and 42. Considering there are only 10 teams in baseball that are making money against the spread, for the Tigers to be one of them, even though they aren't that great of a team, definitely says something. I'm not going to pretend like the Tigers offense is that good, but the Royals is just downright horrible. Detroit is also equally as good on the road as it is at home. The Royals are only 14 and 33 at home. I'm definitely taking the Tigers in this one.
Yeah, the A's get a lot of crap for being one of the worst teams in baseball, but the Royals are right there with them. The Royals are just, I think the Royals could be worse than the A's.
I think they are, because the A's are actually at least competitive in like half the games they play.
Yeah, the A's were undefeated at one point too. I don't know if the same is true about the Royals. The A's did win their first game of the season. So The A's are not good. The Royals are not good, but the A's, I think I'd rather bet on the A's to cover. Like I have bet on the A's. I have bet money line bets on the A's this season in spots where I like value. I've never bet on the Royals once, and I don't think I will.
No, yeah, that's a big part of the reason that I would say the Athletics are a better baseball team than the Royals. Let me look at their spread records real quick because I have it pulled up. So against the spread, the Royals are 32 and 62, that which is just grotesque. The A's are 44 and 50. So they cover 47% of the time. The Royals cover 34% of the time. I mean, that right there proves the A's are a more competitive team.
Yeah, that's what it proves. The A's are just a better team. The A's are a better dog in the division of dog water. The A's would win. Like
Well,
that.
who's in that? We got 5 teams: the A's, the
A's,
Royals.
Royals. So you got to go to the AL Central now. Not the. I wouldn't put the White
The,
Sox in it.
you wouldn't put the White Sox?
No, I would. I think there's too much. I think there's too much talent. Let me pull up the divisions real quick. That's a little.
Rockies, maybe.
Yeah, Rockies are probably in it. So okay, so
Nationals.
Royal. You got to look at the last teams in the division. So it's not nobody from the AL East. I'd put the Royals in it. Yeah, I mean the White Sox are bad, but they're right there with the Tigers and the Guardians. I still wouldn't put them in there. I think Royals, A's, Athletics. Okay, now we go to the National League. Yeah,
Nationals.
Rockies and Nationals. That would be my pick. Because like the Cardinals are dog
Wait,
water,
we're missing one.
you got 5.
No,
A's.
Royals, A's, Nationals, Rockies. I feel like it's the White Sox. Like they suck.
It's probably the White Sox are just an underperforming team. So you probably got to put the White Sox in there. I don't know. I'd lean towards the Tigers, honestly, even though they're better. I think there's just more talent on the White Sox that's going to come alive. I don't know.
Well, I
White
mean,
Sox.
Tim Anderson hasn't hit a home run in over a year.
Tim Anderson's actually their best player. So he actually is. He's one. Him and Luis Robert are their 2 best players, and then Dylan Cease and Lucas Giolito. Like that would be their 4. But they have names at least. Like I can't name as many players on the Tigers as I can on the White Sox.
Well, I mean, the Twins have names. Like they have Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton. You were just talking about, and like you're fading them.
They're dog water. Miguel Cabrera is a name for the Detroit Tigers. He should be in a freaking retirement home right now, and he bats like 7th for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, it's not great over there in Detroit, but they are going to cover this run line. They are going to win this game against the Kansas City Royals. I will basically guarantee it. And guys, that is going to do it for our picks on today's show. As we said at the top, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Tanner and I are giving out picks all the time. Both of us have been making money. And if you guys have been locked in, then you've been making money too. So hit that subscribe button. We're doing you the favor. You just got to hit one little button. That's all it is.
Did you ride today, Grant? Were you riding today?
I was riding, Tanner. I was riding.
If you were riding, that's good. And all the people are riding. So subscribe to the damn show. Press a button. We stormed the beaches of Normandy. We won back-to-back World Wars. If you're from a different country, your country probably did something good. Probably. So hit the subscribe button. That was Ride the Line, the greatest show in sports betting entertainment. We'll see you next time for another show, Grant Mitchell. Keep riding.